Thank God it's Thursday. Good God Almighty. Welcome back to the Chicken Box, where fried chicken is our thing. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome. If you just tuned in and never had, maybe you want to smile today. Look, this is the Chicken Box where we dispel stereotypes. We talk about things in the Black community, what you're thinking, and what you want to say, but maybe don't want to say. But then sometimes you want to come on and speak your truth. I'm Kevin Impeccable Peck, your host. Good morning if you're in the West Coast. Good afternoon if you're in the East Coast, and good evening if you're in Africa or somewhere in between. Man, women who win. Women are doing it, y'all. Black women are killing the game. I represent the Gen Xers. We're going to get into black people versus women who win in business, in life, just in society, and just do it all. While men, we need to get our act together. Dr. Draper, how are you?
Hey there, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everybody, no matter where you're from. As Impeccable said, I'm Frances Tony Draper, CEO and publisher of the AFRO, and so glad to join you this afternoon, morning, or evening. We're going to have a dynamic conversation as we continue talking about women during this Women's History Month. And so today we're talking about women who win, and so I'm really excited about this conversation with my co-host, Kevin Peck. And now over to you, Misha.
Well, hello, everybody. As I always say, I'm representing for the boomer millennials out there, those of us who really appreciate boomer culture and all things that teach us wisdom to this day. And so, though I was born in 91, I for sure appreciate everything that my I hate to say my elders, but I can't think of a better word this morning has taught me. You know what? And that's why, because it's still 11 o'clock my time, y'all. I'm in Houston, reporting live, and really happy to be on the box. Should I say anything else?
Yeah, you should say it's time to smile if you haven't smiled all day, and let's get it started like that, okay?
Okay.
All right, that was a great smile. I thought you were frozen for a second. If you're tuning in, put it in the chat where you're tuning in from. We have a massive conference coming, undertaken during the pandemic. We did our first ever virtual conference, which is Black Business Matters, and it was a huge success. We had billionaire Robert Smith last year, and it went over so well. Of course, the pandemic, it seems like it's trying to go over well again. So we are now doing another virtual conference. Like, no, don't do another virtual conference, but this one, you're going to catch a nugget that's going to change your life, change your business, or change how you see the world. The Women Who Win conference is amazing, and we had to hire at the Afro assistance because we need some assistance sometimes. So we called in Nicole Kirby of Carver PR, which I'm going to introduce, and she's going to come into the show. She's a woman who's winning. Hey, Nicole, how are you?
Hello, Afro team.
We're
How's
finally on
everything?
a meeting that's not a Zoom, okay? So this is like reality uh, TV, pretty much, because we meet every week for a long time to work on a conference that is finally here next year. So, Nicole, why don't you tell everybody about Carver PR and then how you're assisting the Afro and making this first annual Women Who Win, the three W's, a huge success, and what we have in store for us this year.
Well, first of all, thank you, Afro team, for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here. I'm also excited to be one of your extended team partners in planning this year's Women Who Win Expo conference. I'm super excited. A lot of people may know me from the world of public relations. I've been doing it for a long time. And no, I'm not going to say my age. And no, I'm not going to say what generation I belong to. I'm just going to say that the rodeo is not new to me. I've been doing public relations since in college, and have been in the world of the genres of entertainment, sports, nonprofits, faith-based, corporate. And so that gives you a little clue that yes, I've been doing this for a while, but I've never been as excited to work with the Afro on the other side of things. I'm very familiar with working with you all by always calling and having you come out to stories, events. I do a lot of things on the social activism side, and the Afro has always been there. So I'm very familiar with the Afro on that side. We have on our marching shoes together. So it's extremely excited for me to be able to partner and work with the Afro team on the expo side, on the educational side, on the expansion of business side. And so I can't wait for next week. I just can't wait.
Absolutely. If you just tuned in, we are having an expo and we're going to talk all about it because it's women who win. It's all about women. It's all about winning. It's all about nuggets. It's all about your own business. And matter of fact, there's some cooking going on. It's lunchtime, y'all. If you've never been to the chicken box in Baltimore, there's something called a chicken box. That's full wings and fries. It can get greasy at times. Put salt, pepper, and ketchup. There's potato wedges and you get a half and half with it. That's in Baltimore. That's sweet tea and lemonade. In other parts of the country, it could be called an Arnold Palmer,
Mhm.
and but it's half and half here in Baltimore. That goes with your chicken box, and I am officially hungry now. But here, the Afro started during the pandemic. It was supposed to be a program that we sat around the table and we said, you know what, you can't go wrong if you're eating chicken. Because even if you're talking about something serious, the chicken can loosen up the conversation. But you get a chance to get on your box and speak your truth about a particular topic. This week is not so much boxing, but maybe it is because there's a lot of women who are not getting recognized for winning, especially in the African American community. And the Afro, shout out to the Afro, 130 years of informing, inspiring, and education and educating our community wants to highlight women who win. And that's what the conference is all about. I'm probably off script. I'm excited about the conference. Look, you can go to afro.com and you can register right now. I'm going to pull it up. Misha, jump in. Help me out.
No,
I need to know
you
why I'm the
sound
only
you
man on the
are
show.
the marketer. I was gonna like hostess with the mostest. Marketer with the mostest doesn't sound as great, but you are killing it. I think I will toss to Dr. Draper because I want to hear sort of the thinking from the administrative side about why we wanted to highlight women this year. This has sort of been the Afro's theme in 2022. We started in with the community activist edition, highlighting queens of the movement, and so I one of the things that I love working about the Afro, and I always say, is that it's Black girl magic most of the time. And so I want to hear from our amazing publisher as to why we went in this direction.
Thanks for the punt. I got it. So appreciate that. So really, women who win in the African American community, especially, we revere. We take the Bible seriously. Not that others don't, but we honor our mothers and our fathers, and uh, we take it seriously. We grew up, as April Ryan said in her book, at Mama's knee, and so there are so many women, and I'm hearing a little bit of echo. So I don't know if it's mine or somebody else's audio. So to our
Yeah, I
audience,
think we need to mute when we're not speaking.
right. So to our Facebook audience, apologize for the echo. But in our community, women have always had a central role, and let's face it, they've not always gotten their props beyond the nuclear family. That's one reason. Secondly, Black women are rocking it. I mean, Black women are on their way to the Supreme Court. Black women are, a Black woman is heading the Office of Budget for the first time ever in the United States. A Black woman is the Vice President of the United States. More Black women than ever before are occupying the seats in the boardrooms. Black women are on the ground, leading things like Black Lives Matter. And Black women are still doing what Black women have always done, raising children, working two jobs, standing on the picket line, raising their voices. And we thought, especially during this Women's History Month, that we would elevate and lift up Black women. But let me say this also, Black women have always been the ones who have said, you know what, never tear down our Black men. Don't tear. We've always been beside our Black men, not behind and not disrespectful, but we're also the ones that give voice to the support for African American men all over. So that's why we are doing this at this time. I dropped the mic. That's it. I'm off the
That was a
bottom.
moment of awkward silence in streaming. In case you ever are doing a stream and everybody has their mic on mute. If you just tuned in, this is Black People versus women who win. We're not really versus. I'm really getting sick of versus because we're not against it. But this is just how we think about it. How do you think about women businesses? Do you support women-owned businesses? Do you encourage women to get into business? Are you all for it? If you're married to a woman who's all about her business, maybe you might be upset sometimes because home might lack a little bit, but do you support her hustle? You know what I mean? Do you get out there and make dinner happen, even if you don't cook it? You can order it from Uber Eats. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're watching this for the first time, but this is the Chicken Box where we speak our truth, and we wanted to talk about this conference because nobody else is talking about our Black women like that in this winning. We got pockets, but I'm talking about in one set, focus, directed, just laser focus. And so, you know what I wanted to get into, and how do you start off, Nicole, from Carver PR, who is our specialist helping us out? What goes into the thinking initially when you begin to plan? And this might be somebody who wants to also get into this business that Nicole's in. Just tell us. We know we've seen you different places, but somebody out there does not have a clue who Nicole Kirby is.
Well, Nicole Kirby is a person who definitely has an iron fist and a velvet glove. And I say that to mean that I'm one of those women, and this is exactly why I think that a conference such as this is so important, because there's so many women leaders out there who are managing the room, or the leader or the speaker who's in front of the room, but that woman is sitting in the back, but she's surveying everything to make sure everyone's on point, everything is how it should be. And that's a Nicole Kirby. I'm the person that curates whatever the action is, whatever the person I'm being the publicist for, whatever the event is about, curating it from start to finish, making sure it moves correctly, making sure that the end result is achieved. Now, whatever that end result is, it's my job to make sure that it happens. And oftentimes that involves the use of bringing the media in the fold. But I know for a fact that I see other women, and this is so important. This expo, Dr. Draper, is so important because there's another woman in my same space who works with a very prominent leader. And one day I said to her, very casually, I said, "Hey, you're doing a great job. I see you." And she broke down in tears. And she said, "Really?" I said, "What do you mean, really? Girl, you're killing it." She said, "I didn't know anyone noticed." I said, "Come on, are you serious with me?" And she said, "Yeah." This woman is leading and pushing and driving national campaigns and didn't know that anyone recognized her work. And so when we say women who win, we're saying and acknowledging, we see you. You may be in the back room, but we know that behind every great leader, there's a woman somewhere that sits at that table and saying, "Okay, let's drive this thing. This engine has got to move. This person is sending out the emails, making the calls, sending out the run of show, making sure that everything happens." And so Nicole Kirby is a person that you may not really know me, but you've seen my work. You've seen my work. I don't get the kudos or the pomp and stance or the hoorays or the trophies because I'm the person that's in the back of the room. And so I am in the world of public relations and I do a lot of crises management. And I just get my gratification when I lay down at night and I know that God is saying, well done, my good and faithful servant. So that's the world of Nicole Kirby in her field of public relations, just making sure that if no one else knows that I did it, I know that when I rest my head at night on that pillow, the job was done. That's it. I'm out. I'm throwing the mic down.
I love it. I love it. I think impeccable is frozen, so I will help move the box along. But oh my gosh, just everything you said, Nicole. First of all, Nicole knows I'm obsessed with her and have been admiring her from afar and up close and personal for a few years now. And you know, everything you said, I just got chills because that is who you are. Nicole has a lot of very powerful clients and a lot of other Black women who are winning in her life. And she just, everything about what she does, I think, is about uplifting others and empowering others. And that makes you the true winner, right? And the true leader because you help others see their power. And even in the time that Nicole has been helping with Black Business Matters, I've even had some hesitations and reticence about doing certain things and just a little normal nerves, and she has uplifted me and told me, no, you're going to do this because you have the ability to do so. And so I first just want to highlight you, and I'll hop on the box and say that Women Who Win to me is about understanding that really all women are winners and that we have the ability to live into that our true champion nature. And so in prepping for this and talking to some of our guests, I've learned that we all have the ability to be champions. And so it's just tapping into those skills. Oh, hi, Dad. That's my dad, y'all. Medellin is watching. And so I want to start by saying that I think historically Black women have always been winners and always been on the front lines. And though Dr. Draper so beautifully said that we've always been beside Black men, I think in the history books and in some of the narratives, particularly from mainstream media, Black women were behind. And so for that reason, I contend that the Black press and Black media has been the only ones really highlighting from the very beginning that Women Who Win. And we just had an editorial, our edition this week was on Women Who Win, obviously, for our special edition. And guys, sorry. Of course, live stuff is happening. I'm in I'm in Houston, and one of the maintenance people just came in. But anyway, long story short, Martha Murphy, who is Dr. Draper's great just one great grandmother, was really why we have the Afro to this day. I'm sure she can get further into it later, but to know that there was a Black woman who has allowed for these true narratives to happen just makes me feel incredibly humbled and empowered. So really, women have always been winning, but we only knew that through the Black press. And the Afro, who's been around for 130 years, couldn't have been here without Martha Murphy, who was truly a woman who wins.
Boom, I got off. I'm in a undisclosed location with limited internet. But I think I'm back. Can you guys hear me clearly?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
While Misha deals with the maintenance, if you just tuned in, we have a special event coming up next week. It's called Women Who Win. Go to afro.com. I had it pulled up on my screen. If you haven't seen us, even though we're 130 years old, we are bad, y'all. We've been doing it digitally and on the physical, which is good. I'm in Baltimore and I got to hold this paper. It's been a long time, but it's all of these beautiful powerful, strong Black women on the cover who are going to rock this conference live next week, Thursday, 10 o'clock. If you can't make it, this is the digital technology. Just like missing your best show on Netflix, you can always watch it on demand. But live, if you can, set some time for yourself, spend an hour or two, and just take notes. Don't come just to see who's going to be on there because you're wasting your time. Make this time count. And it is free. The Afro is offering this free. The ladies are, most of them, sharing their time for free, giving you a step ahead that you don't even know will help you in your future. So let's show up, y'all. Let's show up in
Yeah.
big numbers. It's not too late to register. Maybe let me see. Can you guys see? All right,
Yes.
here we go. We are on we're at the afro.com's website, and you can just let me see if I can work it. Is it moving?
Yes. It's moving.
I just scroll down right under past national president of Delta Sigma Theta, Dr. Thelma
And to
Daly.
the right was Dr. Draper's twin
Niche,
herself.
Niche is back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. I was so excited to see the Francis L. Murphy the second
All right.
story as well.
Just go to afro.com, y'all. Here we go. Right under Dr. Thelma Daily, you just click and you will go, or I have the page open for you right here to Black Business Matters Women Who Win. Free registration. You're in there. That's the simple, quick solution to get registered as soon as possible. It's going to be, again, amazing. So, did everybody get a chance to get on the box? I may have missed it when I cut off.
No, not
Everybody,
everybody. I'm gonna jump on the box just for a minute because Misha mentioned something. This is Black Press Week as well, and so we talk about the Black press and the fact that this is the 195th anniversary of the founding of Freedom's Journal back in 1827 on March the 16th. And now here we are. That publication only lasted 2 years, but you know, when you're first, you're first. But I think that a lot of our viewers may not know this. Today there are only 230 black owned. I got to put that word owned, black owned newspaper. And when I say newspaper, guys, I mean digital as well. You know, I mean all of the social media. So when I say newspaper, yes, we still do a legacy product, but a lot of our resources are also in onto the digital space. But for this edition, you want the print edition. But today, out of the 230 Black owned newspapers left in the United States of America, more than half of those have women publishers. So the women and the board of directors of the executive committee of the National Newspaper Publishers Association. If you get a chance, go to Black Press USA, Black Press USA. Check out the programming that's going on today. Every person on the executive committee, the president, first vice president, second vice president, secretary, treasurer, all are Black women. So I just thought I'd throw that in. Another reason to celebrate Black women.
women who win.
Women who win.
We are winning. As you said, this if you can pick up this Afro, if not, you can read it digitally online at afro.com as well. But it is some amazing stories from the Afro archives and from the new stories that are, well, listen, we were doing the numbers. It's not many men at the Afro. Fellas, where you at, fellas? I want to know. Where my journalists?
We got some jobs open, you know, so where are you fellas? Right.
Where are you? Because the ladies are running the whole company. I just work here. Okay. I just show up. They say get on the chicken box and talk. So I'm just here doing that. But no, but seriously, I'm gonna get on the box for a second. I have always been around powerful women who are powerful with loving and taking care of their families, as well as they always were in all of the most powerful rooms uh, in the country. So as a young man, I always, you know, Dr. Draper is my mother. In case you didn't know, newsflash. Here you go. This is the first time you figured it out. So can you imagine? You know, you young, you in business, you trying to cut some corners. This is before cell phones and pages, and your mother's, you know, your boss, and she's letting you have it at home, and then she can hug you up when I mean at the office, but then when you get home, you can get a little kiss. But at work, it's work, and business is must be done and done in a certain way. But at home, it's home. And so that's what most of our Black women do, um, who are bosses. We even did a Boss B episode. If you go back, Boss Beautiful. Okay, where
Two
was
weeks
your mind?
ago. It's not
Where
in my
was your
phone,
mind?
y'all. Just find it. It's a great episode. Go back and share it.
Absolutely. So no, that's my time on the box. But the digital streets is talking about women who are winning. Misha, what are they talking about?
Yeah, the digital streets actually regularly talk about women who win. I had to be very selective in what I was sharing. And what's amazing really is that I saw a lot, and let me not say amazing. It should have been happening. But a lot of white women were coming to the defense of Black women who win, which I'll just share my quick opinion regarding that and on the box before I go into it, which is that it was only a surprise to me because I remember in 2016 when I was a little disappointed by white women at the polls, and then they were the ones who had the pink hats, and for the women's march. And of course, there were Black women at the forefront of organizing the women's march. But it was such a weird, almost cognitive dissonance for me in 2016 that I had to grapple with. So now to see Black women, white women supporting Black women in such a really major way makes me happy. It's just, it shouldn't be a surprise, right? Because it should always happen. But I should start by saying that. And as always, I must emphasize these are general stereotypes and not necessarily views. Sorry, y'all. Now my little bathroom door from the hotel is opening. All right, there we go. Black women exude main character syndrome. I saw that this morning on Instagram. And it was all of these videos of Black women just like living their best lives. And for whatever reason, that turned into Black women exude main character syndrome. We can get into that later. Any white Democrat who aspires to run for office had better know or quickly learn how to win the support of Black women. They're highly selective, but once they're on your side, there's no more loyal group of voters. Ask Joe Biden. Older Black women who want to see me win. Those are always how I have received my best invitations that have unlocked my biggest moments in my career, not to mention opening me up to an entire new community. Here's another. The reason why Black women are winning is because of all the seeds they've sown. They've been carrying the load for us all for so long. All was in all caps. Now it's time for us to carry them. Another says, love to see Black women winning and looking after them. Another person says, I'm a Black woman stan. I love seeing Black women winning in all aspects of life. Another woman said, I always want to see Black people winning, but especially Black women. We are often looked to as super saviors of everyone. We need to be celebrated for just being us. No capes needed. And finally, this was a white woman who was disgusted by the tennis player who called out Venus and Serena for not playing against the men, which was absurd anyway. But another white woman commented saying, wow, can't celebrate winning without tearing down other women, Black women who are so much better human beings than you can ever dream of being. And that was a white woman who said that and clapped back that way. So anyway, I am loving all of the facial expressions I'm seeing on this screen right now, but I want to start with Nicole and see what she thinks about these stereotypes again, because so much of what she does is uplifting other women.
Thank you, Miss Green. And those quotes, those bits were right on point. And as a Black woman, when I walk into a room, the first thing I do is assess it. because I know of the stereotypes. They do exist. And even though men or women may say, oh no, I don't feed into that. They do exist. Um, I'm particularly aware of them because I know that I have a certain DNA, and that DNA in me doesn't see titles, it doesn't see gender, it doesn't see status when I'm called into a boardroom. And so I speak my mind. I don't know how to kiss up. I'm not very good at that. And so when there's an issue or something that needs to be handled or dealt with, then I speak to it. And so I am aware of um, my personality traits. And because of that, sometimes in the back of my head, I'm hearing Nicole smile a little more, talk a little softer, let someone else speak. I grapple with that. So those things do exist because I have had men, particularly, tell me, "Oh, you're aggressive," or "Oh, um, whew, you're a little cold." But I think now, um, when you see women particularly leading in politics and leading in who gets voted into politics and really speaking their mind and leading all of these social movements, that the not aggressiveness but the attentiveness to knowing what you want and going to get it as a female is now being applauded. um, so so in my household, I have a group of men. I have a wonderful husband and two young boys, and they even say, "Ma, why do you look like you're so, like you're going to come at us?" And I'm like, "Well, do what you got to do, and you don't have to worry about me asking twice." But they know that it's not an indication that I'm angry or mad. I just, when I need something to be done, I need for it to be done. I think the reason why this conference is so important is because the women that we're highlighting here in this particular conference, that they all, as we did, Ms. Green, as we did the preliminary interviews, they've all in some point or fashion have spoke to that, how they've had to deal with some type of barrier where they knew if I wanted to go for something, I couldn't let how anyone else thought or thinks about me hinder how I want to move forward. And that's why Women Who Win has so many other layers to that title. They win because of, they win because they did this, they win because they didn't have barriers on. They are winning because they said, you know what? I don't care what other people say. I'm going to move forward.
Don't care, not listen. I'm blocking you out. You on pause. You on mute. This is the Chicken Box. Nicole Kirby out from Carver PR, who's handling our PR and helping us put together this fantastic event, Women Who Win. I'm going to put a little ticker. Go to afro.com. It is free to register. Why are we stressing this? Sometimes you miss moving to the next moment in your life just because God will send you something and you always think it has to be a cost. But the cost is just you clicking on a couple buttons and getting there so that you can get what you have. But you have to do something. And that's what I heard Nicole saying, is that you have to not just talk about it, not just dream about this book, this business, this new direction, this new degree, this new life you're going to start. You have to begin to take steps. And sometimes you can't get to the other side without just taking one step. Okay. It gets so overwhelming sometimes. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't have any mentors. It's a bunch of mentors that I have that I've never met. They're all on YouTube. I just watch them. I'm like, yeah, that's my mentor right there, Dr. Miles Monroe. I love what he's talking about. Or the street preacher. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm up before everybody 4 a.m. I said, well, not for the Women Who Win. You're going to find out that some of them are up before you at 3:30 because they on the morning show. They might go to bed at 7:30, but they are right there with you, lockstep. I hope you're one of the women or men. Listen, man, don't be so cocky that you think that you can't learn something from a woman. Probably most of the stuff you learn from 0 to 2 or to 5. Most of it. I'm not gonna say all of it because it's some dynamic fathers, but we're talking about women who win this particular day. That's next Thursday. We're gonna take a pause from the chicken box, y'all. I'm actually gonna get the chicken box, and I'm gonna no, I'm one of the co-hosts along with my wife, so I can't have no greasy chicken. Sometimes you just want to stop fronting on what you do and stop pretending. Stop editing your life on social media because that's what everybody does. Oh, I don't like that side. I don't like that side of my face. Oh, shoot up, not down, or shows my double chin. Everybody's trying to be in this perfect picture. And when you're in life and business, it's not always a perfect picture. And you have to get used to the picture sometimes not looking good. But you can correct it, right? You can edit it by showing up to Women Who Win. You see what I did there, Nicole? See what I did there, Misha? Anyway, man, we got both of our jewels, Afro jewels, hanging out with us. How you guys doing today? We got Dorothy Bowick, Kay, Lenore. If you're on here and you've never just, you know, text in the chat, just say hello. It's good to see you. It lets us know that somebody, my thing is 1 to 1 million. If one person is, reached through this conference, then it was a success. And Dr. Draper, you looking good
Yeah,
today.
impeccable. Thank
How
you.
you doing?
You know what? I was thinking about what what Nicole said. Um, Men are assertive and women are aggressive. That's the stereotype, right? So when
That's
women,
stupid. Anyway,
well, it's really stupid. And the other thing that's, I don't like to use the word stupid, but the other stereotype that we got to bust is that women can't get along with women. That black women pull other black women down. Come on, that is a stereotype. I know too many black women that lifting others up. And if you are in the company of a sister who's pulling you down, you're in the wrong company. If she can't celebrate your success, you got with the wrong one. There may be some folk that are jealous when you go up, but you know what God has for you is for you, and your promotion is not somebody else's demotion. So we have to be select, don't we, Nicole, about who's in our space, and be careful. Not that we have to speak quiet or be quiet or any of that, but when we speak up, black women tend to do their homework much better, and we had to learn how to speak up, as I said, to be assertive. I'm gonna give you all this example, then I'm gonna get off the box. I'm on the box. So I was at a conference last week, and there were some young people who were presenting from the University of Miami. One black student was there. And so afterwards, I went to talk to her. While I'm talking to her, I hadn't been in the conversation for 30 seconds. A white man came up, came right in between us to say what he had to say. So he could take it as aggressive or assertive, but I said to him real clear, excuse me, I was talking to her. You want to talk to her? You got to wait. We had to learn. I did. And he backed off. I wasn't angry, but I'm at the point in my life and in my career and in my own development where I'm at the point where I don't allow people to take advantage of me. And I've learned how to speak to it without being angry about it. And he backed off. And so I think there are some techniques that and I'm so thrilled next week. I'm going to get on next week and soak up as much as I can. Listen, this is about Black women in business, women who win. So you have an emerging track, you have an accelerated track, and I'd be interested, Nicole. Tell us, Nicole, Misha, Kevin, you all did a lot of pulling people together. What can we expect next week? Oh, and by the way, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get off the box. So our state's attorney, Marilyn Mosby, is part of our lineup next week. And somebody had this nerve to say to me, but don't you know the trouble that she's in? I said, last time I checked, being accused and being convicted are two different things, right? So we drink the Kool-Aid. We allow people to tell us who we can and who we can't have. I'm off the box.
hello everybody. If I almost rolled my neck, and I don't even know how to roll my neck. But when you said that, listen, Black people, stop letting them tear us down. Don't act like you never, even if it, whatever it happens, everybody has done something. I met one person one time who said they never lied in their life.
That's a
I
lie, right?
moved on.
That's a lie.
I moved on the side to keep from getting struck by lightning. But anyway, this is black. This is our black Nicole. Come on in. Just
I,
just give a couple. You know what?
do you can you pull up the
I'm gonna pull up the drip.
can you pull up the yeah, pull up, make it rain. Let's see
All
the
right.
video.
All right. Let's make it rain for a second. I hope it goes full screen. Let me see.
Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. It's automatic, babe. Look at my fit. Shorty on me cause I'm it. Infinite drip. They got infinite drip. Roll up on me cause I'm lit. So falling off me, don't slip. I got the infinite drip. They got infinite drip. I know my dripping is influential. Watch how I drip on this instrumental. Came from different serving in the rental. They don't know what I've been through. Chuck Taylor's on, yeah, my kick seat. I'm fly and they fit me. She find us and she get me. So she get D, I mean swiftly. Pack up and roll. Think it's time to take this drip on the road. Show at the show. Sold out days, that me to go. A million sold. People know me cause I get infinite drip. They got infinite drip. Roll up on me cause I'm lit. So falling off me, don't slip. I got that infinite drip. They got infinite drip.
Alrighty now.
You got to play the one with Miss Green in it. There is one with Miss Green.
All right, I'll find it.
They see my face here now. That's fine.
I'm sorry. I'm
Play
sorry,
the one with
Misha.
Miss
We know
Green.
you got that infinite
There
drip.
is
So
one with Miss
No,
Green.
yeah, they see my face in that video.
I'm sorry, Misha. We know you got that infinite.
face.
That was wild.
Yes.
That was the first
just
time I
go back-
shared there, and then after I shared through the YouTube, all of a sudden the stream was in YouTube. Did you guys see that? That was crazy. Anyway,
Well, I was just going to go back to Dr. Draper's question about sort of how we are making next Thursday happen. And of course, Nicole can answer this with far more detail, but I'll just say in terms of in my input, it was just really cool getting to learn about some of the women who win. And, I'd heard their names, maybe interviewed them for other kinds of things or worked with other people, briefly, but to kind of understand the ethos behind how they've gotten to where they are, it's really quite amazing. All of these women have, I think their secret ingredient is the fact that what they want to do is empower other people. It was never about them. It was never about how rich they wanted to be or how successful they were going to get. That came with the work that they were doing to uplift others. And they all sort of took on the responsibility of being there and being these leaders because it was out of obligation for their people first. And so I'll just say that that's something I learned. You have to go to the conference on the 24th to get some more of how I was involved. But I just know that that's a lesson that I'll take with me forever. I say this all the time. I just turned 30, y'all. And so I'm to sort of understand how I can elevate and really live into my champion womanhood has to be about uplifting others and being there for my community and understanding that my voice is only here to lend to be a vessel for others. And I think that was really empowering and humbling.
absolutely. If you just came in on the tail end, we were talking about women who win in business, highlighted by the Afro-American newspaper. Boom, 130 years, y'all. That is the oldest Black business in Maryland, third oldest in the country. You think they didn't have some women? They had some women bosses. If you go back to through the archives of the Afro, they had a bunch of bosses before men or society or business even thought about putting women in positions of leadership. And we really want to highlight and echo. But we had Nicole Kirby, who's been helping us from Carver PR. She's done an amazing job working with the Afro this year. And we thought it not robbery to bring her on so you can meet another woman who wins, who's always behind the scene. She's, should I call you our Olivia Pope? She's the white hat. She's the white hat because occasionally in her other roles, she has to manage some crises and you don't even know they're getting handled because people have PR nightmares because now of all of these social media faux pas and people get on and they think they can say and do anything that they want to do and they get more than their hand slapped and they say, Nicole, my image is I'm ruined. What do I do? And she said she gets them together and gets them started. But you're gonna see some dynamic women. Of course, guys, we have a dynamic woman on our team, Misha Green. And anyway, Misha Green this is her last chicken box show. Well, we wanted to do it live and announce because she and Misha, you can kind of say it if you can talk, but she might come on from time to time. But if she can't talk, I'm gonna give her a virtual hug. Y'all, Misha is moving. The Afro has always been the place when no one would take you or love you that would take you in and give you an opportunity. And the opportunity isn't always to be with us forever. The opportunity sometimes is for you to really maximize your position here, learn what you do. And if you aspire to do other things, we say, go. But just take the Afro in those rooms, those new boardrooms, those new spaces, those new places that you go. So I want to personally say, I'm going to miss my digital daughter. I know your daddy's your daddy is watching. But as working with you for a few years, it's been a pleasure to work with you. And I wanted to say it publicly on air so that everybody can know that it's always love. 130 years, Misha, somebody's left before. But guess what? They come back. Ask our editor. And some people have 2 and 3 tours at the Afro.
Like
So
me.
go learn all you can learn and then come on back. You know what I mean? Go to those other organizations and learn, grow, and add value, and then come on back, or at least make sure that we can always get in the door where you're going. Dr. Draper, you want to say anything?
I just want to say, Misha came to us highly credentialed. I just want to let everybody know Misha had, her resume was stellar. Her master's in mass communication or journalism helped me, Misha, with that. Her undergrad in theater and acting. Can you all see any of that? She taught theater. She is an excellent writer and editor. Sometimes with uh, writers and editors, you have to push on them for deadline. You never had to push. Misha had her things in the folder early most of the time. And so she did the woman on the street. She has interviewed so many people. And tomorrow she's going to interview Tamala and David Mann. That will be her last live that she does of talking to Mr. Brown, right? So she's doing that on tomorrow. A consummate professional. We will definitely miss Misha. She's been with us now for 4 years, since January 22nd of 2018. Yeah, I looked up your file, Misha, see how long you've been. She's been here for four good years, and we are grateful to you. We wish you the best. You see, our viewers are also praying for you, Misha. And if you missed it a week and a half ago, Misha preaches too. She was at the National Cathedral. Were you at the National Cathedral? I'm gonna tell all of it now, Misha. She is the daughter of a bishop, Episcopal bishop elect. Her daddy is online now, and so I know they're proud of Misha, as we are too. So, Misha, you're going to be missed. Yes, you are a woman who wins, and I want to say to you that a whole lot of folk have excelled at at positions younger than 30. So it's not a matter of the age that you are, it's a matter of the stage where you are.
Hello.
Because I know some 50-year-olds that I want to send back to preschool.
Right, to the crib. I got a crib and a bassinet for him.
Right. So
Right in it.
it's not about your age, it's about your stage. And it's also about making sure, and this is what if you've made sure that you don't burn the bridge behind you, because you never know when you got to cross over it again. So all the best to you. Thank you so much for all that you have
And
contributed.
Misha is going to be on the Women Who's Win. She's going to be
Yeah,
live with us
she's
next
gonna be
week.
live with us next week.
She will be live with us next week. She's done the research to talk to the people she's going to talk to, but you will see her live in action, in her element, in her moment next week. So tune in. I guess you are on one more chicken box, but it's called Women Who Win next week, just in case. We're not even going to do. We're not even. You do you want to do it? You want to do the?
I
No,
don't
we're not
have
even going to do the Afro facts. We're
it
not gonna do
has
no facts
nothing.
because if you know Misha, she is like reality life. Okay, I don't care what's happening. Misha's gonna tell you the door is open, the guy's in there, her dog is barking. Can you hear him? The air conditioner is running. She's gonna let you know. You're gonna be perfect. Somewhere somehow we're gonna see Misha on the big screen. Cause if you love theater, it's just a matter of time before you get a role or an opportunity, and then we'll say, look, give us some tickets, Misha, to the China Theater, to whatever the theater is in Hollywood. You know, when they premiere the movie, I want my tickets. I'm asking for them now before everybody else, gets a hold of them. But anything you want to say before we close, guys, go register on afro.com for Women Who Win. If you know some women with some drip or they got a little drop, just send them over there to register on afro.com. It's free. And believe me, it's going to be dynamic.
And Kevin, let me also plug, since we're doing that, we also are
Before
having
Misha, in with Misha. Okay.
we're also having two teas, one in two high teas, one in April in Baltimore, April 23rd, one in DC on June the 26th. I think Misha's going to be at both of those. Those unfortunately are not free, but maybe fortunately they're not free. And we celebrate 130th on August 13th. I know that's a lot of dates. We'll put them out there on afro.com, but please support us there. Misha has already said she's going to be at all three. You can get her autograph then. All right, Misha, is
Well,
Misha on the
before I
back
think we need to do a show on high tea because I don't even know. I mean, I
And we'll
know
do a show on high tea,
some
but it's
high
next month,
tears. Right. We need to figure out what high
and
tea is.
it's almost sold out too.
It sounds bougie, but I want to know more about it anyway.
All right, there
Misha,
you
Okay, I'm gonna try to get through this. I'm so grateful for my time at the Afro. I made it clear, even in talking to Dr. Draper and all of my higher ups, I don't want this to be goodbye. I have been at the Afro long enough to know it's never quite goodbye anyway. And so, yeah, I cannot thank the Afro enough for giving this hungry young journalist an opportunity to be a blank canvas, and you guys seeing in me everything that I didn't know I had in myself. And so I am so grateful and so thankful. And I'm gonna miss the Afro so much, and all of you. We can't do this every week in all capacities and really every day, because we're grinding daily to get you the legacy edition as well as all of our shows. We couldn't do this without your support. And so all I can say, as I say weekly in every Afro Live, please, 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 if you're not already, become a member of the Afro family by subscribing to our edition. The Black press is so incredibly important. And this is it's been so humbling to be a part of this organization and to learn from the leaders here and the entire team, and as well as just the leaders who made this organization possible, who I never got to meet because they are now the ancestors, but engaging with their work in the archives and seeing the fruits of their labor in all sorts of ways by being able to be at this 130-year organization has just been so incredibly rewarding and inspiring. And this is not goodbye by any means. It's just my last chicken box. Will still be working and doing stuff next week for sure. And like they said, I will be live in living color with y'all next week on the Women Who Wins Black Business Matters Expo. And I won't be far. I'll still be reporting in the area and an editor in the area. And so now I get to like report on Afro stuff, right? Without having bias. Although it's implicit, right? But, you know, it'll just be wonderful to be a part of the organization always and forever while continuing to grow and learn at another organization, but of course taking the AFRO with me. It's funny, two of my big boss at my new organization and one of my colleagues also worked at the AFRO. So I'm literally walking into an organization that has taken the AFRO with them. And
take it. You tell them stop. Tell them to stop. That's it. Can't take any.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, I'm not live with David and Tamala Man today. I'm live with them tomorrow. Today I'm live with Keisha Brooks, who's big time VP with Comcast, and we're going to be talking about all the stuff live at 3 with them. With Keisha from Comcast. But anyway, I
get some free internet.
Guys, enough. I wrote a little love letter to the AFRO for next week, so it'll be in next week's paper. I'm done. I'm off the box. I love y'all.
Keisha, can I get some free internet? Anyway, y'all look, family, we're gonna continue the box. The box is picking up. We can't wait to get live. It's gonna be some live cooking segments. The AFRO is actually doing a cookbook. So if you go to afro.com, you can submit your recipes. You can memorialize your loved ones. We're not even charging for you to just send one of those famous recipes. I got impeccable spaghetti is going to be in there. I got mine. Mine is in there. So look, it's going to be a cooking segment. We're going to do some crazy things next week doing Women Who Win. It's not going to just be the boring Zoom that you want to just, you know, turn your camera off and, you know, do everything else. You got to come ready to win next week, especially if you're serious about business. If you know somebody who's serious about business, tell them to register because it's going to be amazing.
So, Kevin, I want to add, because I'm going to give Nicole the last word on women, this segment. For the T's, I know what I forgot to say. We're extending the theme for our 2 T's. The theme is Women Who Win. This time, we're asking every attendee to consider sending us a picture and short, we'll tell you how short, words about someone, a woman in your life. It could be your mother, your grandmother, it could be your boss, it could be anybody that you'd like to highlight. And we're going to show those pictures at our teas. And so we're going to continue the Women Who Win, and we're going to just have a continuous loop of Black women who win. And now you may have a woman who win that's not Black. And so that's fine too. You may be an attendee of our tea, as has been in the past, and you're not African American. You are welcome. But a Women Who Win, we want that information as well.
There we go. Nicole, who is she's our Black hat.
This has been amazing. Thank you all. We're at the bottom of the 9th, and we are getting ready to close out this expo on next week, and I'm super excited because the lineup that the team has put together, the women are phenomenal, and I can't wait to see them when they sit down and they plug into this thing and they pour from their hearts. So thank you, Afro family. This has been a wonderful process. I cannot wait for March 24th. I'm going to be ready, plugged in with 2 cups of coffee, ready to absorb in all this information because I know these women are ready to bring it on next week. So thank you again. Please look at this lineup. Get yourself registered, and we'll see you next week being empowered and motivated and going to the next level.
Boom. If you didn't get pumped up from that, that was better than the speech coming out the tunnel for the Ravens football. Let's get ready to win. Look, they are getting paid on the Ravens Stadium. Now it's time for you to get paid. Women, let's go. Show up. Men, support your women and show up as well. It's free to register. Get your daughters there. Get the ones your daughters who want to start their own business, who have already started their own business. Get them there. Get our future queens and princesses there. Until next week, signing off, representing Gen X, Misha Green, representing our millennial boomers, Dr. Draper, she's a boomer millennial. And Carver PR says, you're gonna have to figure her out. But I'm gonna put her in somewhere, Gen X, somewhere. She's somewhere out there. She's not a millennial, so we can scratch that off the list. But she might have millennial characteristics, but we'll see. Until next week, we love you guys. Smile because it makes you feel better. And call a senior that doesn't get called. You would brighten their whole month. Just one phone call. Stop being into your thing so much that you don't take time to call your family. Have a great day, everybody.